Right. So we're diving deep today into AI and jobs. And, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
But we wanted to really get into
The nitty-gritty, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's it really going to mean?
Yeah, what does it mean for me, for you, for
our listeners.
right now, today?
Absolutely.
And, we have all this data from Goldman Sachs, McKinsey, the World Economic Forum.
Right. Resume Builder, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Yeah, so we're going to try to make sense of it all.
Yeah, and we're going to try to cut through the hype.
Cut through the hype, yeah, and just give you the essential information.
Yeah. So let's start with the big picture.
Okay.
Goldman Sachs is estimating that around 300 million jobs could be affected globally.
300 million.
Yeah, that's a huge number.
Wow.
McKinsey's talking about 375 million people needing to change careers.
Okay, so basically everyone?
Well, not everyone, but a lot of people.
Okay.
And the World Economic Forum, they're saying that 75 million jobs could be displaced by next year.
Next year. Wow.
So it's definitely something to be aware of.
Okay, so that sounds like kind of a tidal wave of change.
It is.
But I've also heard
there's a flip side.
There's a flip side, and there's a lot of new jobs being created, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The WEF is predicting 133 million new roles by 2025.
Okay, so that's...
And McKinsey sees another 20 to 50 million emerging. So
it's not all doom and gloom?
No, not at all. I think what's important to remember is that this is a transition.
Okay.
And McKinsey actually says that it could be at least 2 decades before even half of our current tasks are fully automated.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there's time.
There's time.
But the change is coming.
So where are we going to see the biggest changes first, in terms of jobs going away?
So think about the jobs that are very routine, the data-heavy tasks.
Okay.
So writing photography, even some software development.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Data entry, that's a big one. Over 7.5 million jobs potentially gone by 2027.
2027.
Yeah. And then administrative roles, accounting, manufacturing, all those are kind of the crosshairs.
Okay, so then where should people be looking if they want to,
Where's the growth?
Yeah, where's the growth?
So healthcare, education, these are always in demand.
Yeah.
But also computer-related fields like software development, database architects, those are going to be huge.
Okay.
And then anything that requires uniquely human skills.
Oh, okay.
So personal financial advisors, most engineering occupations, those are going to be in demand.
Okay, so we still need humans for something.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But one thing that's interesting is that paralegal roles might see slower growth.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So then how does all of this AI-driven job market, how does that look different for people in developing nations?
Yeah, so it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Oh, okay. How so?
The immediate risk of mass displacement might be lower because they rely more on manual labor.
Okay.
But on the other hand, they risk falling behind in productivity if they don't adopt AI. So it's really a balancing act.
Yeah, so AI could also be a huge opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Automation in manufacturing and agriculture could really boost their export potential.
Oh.
Yeah, and we're already seeing examples of this. In Indonesia, for example, they've used AI to improve their palm oil production.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and digitalization opens up all sorts of possibilities for remote work entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So they could really leapfrog in some sectors.
That's so interesting. Okay.
But it's not without its risks.
Right, of course.
You have to think about the impact on low-skilled workers.
Yeah.
And the potential for urban-rural divides.
Okay, so it's complicated.
It is.
So then for developed nations, there's all this talk about a white-collar recession.
Right.
So what does that mean for people listening?
Well, it means that AI is getting better and better at automating tasks that used to be done by knowledge workers.
Okay.
So we're seeing hiring freezes in some areas like finance, entry-level legal jobs, marketing.
That's green too.
Yeah. AI is being used for things like data analysis, document review, content creation.
So even creative roles aren't safe?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, so then what is this thing I keep hearing about cognitive commoditization?
So it's kind of a mouthful.
It is.
But basically, it means that highly skilled intellectual tasks are becoming scalable digital services.
Okay.
So it's like anything that can be broken down into steps.
Oh, I see.
AI can potentially do it.
Okay, so then does that mean those jobs are just going to disappear?
Well, it's not that simple.
Okay.
I mean, on the one hand, it could reduce the perceived value of those skills,
Okay.
but on the other hand, it could also free up people to focus on more creative and strategic work.
Right. Okay.
And there are also a lot of non-tech workers who are already using AI tools informally.
Oh, really? Like secretly?
Kind of. Yeah, we call them secret cyborgs.
Secret cyborgs. I love that.
Yeah.
And then what about the gig economy? How is AI changing that?
So AI is being used to streamline job matching, to enhance virtual collaboration, to optimize productivity, even to provide financial tools for freelancers.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and staffing firms are using it for vetting candidates.
Okay, so it's like changing everything.
It is.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
for people in developed nations, what's the most important thing they need to know?
I think the key takeaway is that the demand for specialized AI skills is growing rapidly.
Okay.
But at the same time, uniquely human skills are becoming even more valuable.
Oh, okay. So it's like a combination.
Exactly. You need the
Uh,
technical expertise, but you also need things like critical thinking, problem solving, leadership, communication.
So those things are even more important now than they were before.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then for someone listening who's like, okay,
What do I do?
yeah, what do I do?
So first of all, focus on those uniquely human skills:
Okay,
emotional intelligence, critical thinking, creativity, communication,
got it.
and then commit to continuous learning.
Like always be learning.
Yeah. Upskilling, reskilling.
Yeah.
It's not optional anymore. And then be prepared to pivot your career.
Oh.
Identify your transferable skills
Mhm.
and see how they can be applied to emerging roles.
So it's like being flexible, being adaptable.
Exactly.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to try new things.
So then how can people use AI right now to earn income?
Well, there are a lot of freelancing platforms that are powered by AI, like Upwork, Fiverr.
Yeah.
You could also think about creating and selling AI-assisted tools or content.
Like what kind of things?
Oh, website builders, AI art, YouTube content, digital marketing
Oh,
services.
okay.
And then you could also look into participating in the AI ecosystem itself.
So like what does that mean?
Well, things like training AI, data analysis, AI programming, even AI ethics and policy.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there's like a whole world.
There is.
Okay, so then where should people go to learn these skills?
There are tons of online platforms like Coursera, EDX, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning.
Mhm.
They all have great courses on AI and machine learning.
Okay.
And there are also specific AI certifications you can get from places like Stanford Data Camp, NVIDIA, Microsoft.
So many options.
Yeah, there's a lot out there.
Okay, so I think the key takeaway here is that AI is going to be a huge disruptor.
Definitely.
But ultimately, your ability to adapt, to learn to focus on your strengths, those are your greatest assets.
I completely agree.
So stay curious, stay proactive,
Yeah.
and you can navigate this new world of work.
Absolutely.
So one final thought for everyone listening, as AI takes on more and more of the work that we do today, what completely new forms of creativity and contribution might emerge that we can't even imagine yet?
That's a great question.
What role will you define in that future?
Yeah, I love that.
All right, thanks for diving deep with us.
My pleasure.